tabletop gaming news from Solarian Games. We are the partners of Solarian Games. I'm Jason.
I'm Peter.
And let's see, this week we have got 5 stories for you. Flail is an old school fantasy brawler where everything goes wrong on purpose. The Star Wars generational gap. I can't wait to hear about that. Goblin Hobbies stamping plates uses nail art tech for your Warhammer minis and other kind of minis. We have Bad Mother Cluckers. And finally, you wait 14 years for a new Elric of Melniboné tabletop RPG, and 2 get announced in the same week. All right, cool. Let's dive right in with the first story about Flail. So I saw this, I don't know, on one of the RPG forums. It just looked really cool, and I wanted to talk about it. So at first glance, and by the way, we're showing a backer kit image here. I believe it just finished funding, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, it funded last week to the tune of 145,000 euro. So they did something right. At first glance on this thing, it's got sort of a Shadow Dark meets Morkborg kind of look to it, which not a bad thing. Those are 2 of the biggest independent, whatever you want to call it, RPGs of the past few years. So it makes sense, go with that look. But it's nothing like either one of them. It looks really fun. So it's an old school dungeon crawling type game, and it's intended for doing short campaigns, maybe like 10 sessions, 12 sessions, or one shots. I just want to say what they say about it. They say, get dropped into a world of low hit points, bad odds, moody miracles, twitchy spells, doomed equipment, and chaotic brawls that keep escalating for no good reason.
Did they steal this from Tim Kask?
I don't know, but it's great. It's great. I just like this quote from a player from a game that they played. Our cleric tried to bless us, and his god showed up to ask why.
That's funny.
What do you're always calling to me, you're asking for stuff, prove your worth, right?
Right.
So I love this, because one of the most fun things that can happen in a role-playing game is when things go wrong. It's why it's sometimes more fun to play, a character that's not actually that good, who the character's stats are low or they've got some flaws to them. That's fun, right?
Yeah.
So they really put this in here, and I got to read off some of the classes they have. So they have familiar and unfamiliar classes that we see on the screen here. You got your bard, cool,
right,
and your cleric. Then you have the Bone Whisperer. Talks to bones, and suddenly there's a crowd of skeletons expecting leadership. You have a cutthroat, which I guess would be like a rogue or a thief. Druid, warrior, wizard, and a tinkerer. So that's maybe a little bit like an artificer, but a tinkerer. Yes. The art on this thing is gorgeous. I mean, it's. I think it's all done by 2 or 3 people total. They said in their site who the artists were, and I didn't write it down, but the artists are great. And bold, solid black and white, the kind of art that just really makes me happy. Whatever the opposite of it grinds my gears is, right? It gives me the fizz. It gives me the fizz. It's just so beautiful. There's not a grayscale in sight. It's just solid blacks and lines and fun. A few other things about this: the combat system, or the game mechanics, look pretty simple, but innovative in a good way. I'm not a fan of innovating just for the sake of innovating. Is it Dread, where you use Jenga to play?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's Dread.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of clever, kooky ways to do things, but I think unless they make the game more fun, why are you doing it? Right. This sounds pretty good. So it says they use a what they call poker dice combat. So just pick up a handful of d6s as dictated by your skills and gear, and then on a 1, deal weapon damage. On 2 ones, deal double weapon damage. On 3 ones, slay your target outright. Pretty simple. They use physical inventory cards, and you can see in the picture here, there's a lot of stuff that comes with the starter set or whatever you want to call it, including these physical inventory cards, which a lot of people have played with these over the years, and they're nice. It's nice to be able to actually say, I have my dagger right here. And then the magic system is what they call a push your luck magic. Spells are affected by the number of d6s used to cast and their combined sum. Roll high for spectacular results, but every 6 comes with consequences, up to and including death.
So it's like you cast a really powerful fireball, but it burns the crap out of your hand.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it just looks great. I mean, the name is perfect. It's flail because you hit people with a flail, but also because you're flailing around when things go bad, Yeah, it's just great. I love the idea. I missed out on the backer kit because I only heard about it after it funded, but I will pick it up at some point. This actually, this actually goes back to what you and I were talking about the other day. When you go to a convention, if you're vending at the convention, if you're trying to tell people about your game for the first time, it's really hard. But if somebody comes looking for it, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go looking for this.
Oh, there you go.
So if they're vending, if you've already got people that are excited to do it, show up at a con, vend this. I think, if I remember right, I saw some British spelling in there. I don't really know where they're from. So I don't know if they would be at conventions around here or not, but I love it. It looks cool.
Well, they might have somebody representing, like selling for them or something.
Right. Or I could just be completely wrong. It could actually be. No, it's in euros, so it's not going to be British either.
Yeah. No, actually, you're right. It's not.
Let's see here. I'm going to look at the team.
Looks French.
The team. Well, you know what? The first photo I see of the main designer, he looks pretty French to me with his little round glasses and his beardiness. Andre Novoa.
Oh, no, that sounds.
I don't know what kind of a surname that is. But it says he's the founder of Games Omnivorous. He has a bunch of Ennies, yuck, and works on games like Mouse Ritter, Vaults of Varn, Frontier Scum, and The Job. So, I haven't heard of him either, and I don't like the Ennies at all, and I don't like things that win Ennies, but could be good anyway. I think it will be. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Probably. All right, let's do the next one. So, this is an interesting story. This isn't like a gaming thing. This is a tangential nerd thing.
Okay.
Star Wars generational gap. Now,
I will challenge the idea that Star Wars is a nerd thing, but we can come back to that. I don't think there's anything nerdy about Star Wars in the least. I mean, that's like saying Walmart is nerdy. It's one of the most popular things ever created by mankind.
No, that's true. That's true. But I mean, it does relate to nerds. Nerds can relate to this. They would like this news.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Nielsen has released the viewership data, and this is just for Q1 2026. Now,
but still, I mean, that's representative.
Yeah. It does reach back into 2025, which reveals that viewers watch. Check this out.
Okay.
This is nuts.
I'm ready.
33 billion minutes of Star Wars content last year.
All right, getting the calculator out. So 33 billion minutes divided by 60 minutes in an hour. That's a number that doesn't help. 33 billion. You keep talking, I'll do math.
Okay.
33.
So this is what breaks down for 2026 though. Because I said the numbers were different.
Hours. So, okay, 550 million hours. If 100 million people watched Star Wars and everybody watched 5 hours of but there's series, it probably means like 80 million people watched Star Wars.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
I believe it.
Those silly numbers. All right.
I believe it. All right, so A New Hope, The Phantom Menace, and Rogue One were the most popular movies.
A New Hope, The Phantom Menace, and Rogue One.
Yes.
Okay, so The Phantom Menace is the first prequel?
Yes, that's the first prequel.
Okay, interesting. It's more popular than The Empire Strikes Back.
Hey man,
No, I'm just asking. I'm confirming.
You're right, and I don't agree.
Okay.
But
And Rogue One, I mean, okay,
I get that.
It's a good movie, but I challenge you to. No, I would have a couple years ago challenged you to name one character in it, but now that Andor exists, now we know the character's name.
No, and there's K2SO4, which is my favorite Star Wars character ever.
A crazy good character. I love K2SO4. I agree. But until you just said that name, I had no idea.
I
I would
remember
have never ever been able to guess the name of that droid.
I did just because I love I love
How can you
Rogue One.
remember it though?
I don't know. I
I
just 'cause
mean,
I love the character. So,
C3PO. It's like a name. C3PO. R2 D2. It's like two names. KS75 6B
Well, no, no,
slash 6L.
Yeah,
I
I don't
can't
know.
remember that.
I don't know.
That's a vacuum cleaner. It's not a person.
What can I say? I love the character. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you've learned its name, whatever the hell you
Yes,
just
I
said.
have. All right. So Andor, Skeleton Crew. So yeah, we had Rogue One, but this for the series, Andor, Skeleton Crew, and The Mandalorian were the top 3 shows.
Skeleton Crew. That's animated, right?
No, Skeleton Crew. I'm pretty sure Skeleton Crew was the one with the kids in it, and Jude
Okay.
Law.
Maybe I just completely missed that because I vaguely have heard of it. I'm even looking it
And
up right now.
they even had little scooters in them that you would like that they were
I
flying
like the
around
little
on.
scooter. Oh, I see. Oh, it's like a kid show.
Yeah, it was kind of a kid show. I mean, it wasn't totally a kid show, but it was kind of a kid show. It wasn't my favorite. I mean, I didn't love it, but I liked it. It was okay.
I mean, it's got
It's all right.
Nick Frost. Oh, I guess he must be some kind of droid. He's a SM-33.
Well, I love Jude Law. I think Jude Law.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love Jude Law. Jaleel White is in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Urkel. Urkel's in it. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So the data from the first quarter of 2026 is pretty compelling. The Andor series finale remains the most popular Star Wars show among millennials and Gen X.
Okay. Okay.
Gen Alpha and baby boomers seem to both prefer The Mandalorian.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
That is interesting.
And Gen Z, they preferred the Clone Wars.
Okay. Well, what kind of drugs did Gen Z do now?
Well, they're young.
That's how old is Gen? Okay, 14 to 29 is not that young. 28-year-olds are not young.
No, but you got 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
and
but
the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars is
are
that
not
is
bad.
animated, right?
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
animated.
But they get a lot of critical. I haven't watched them, but I hear the storytelling in it is very good.
Okay.
People seem to really love it.
Cool.
All right. So says here, seems that Gen Alpha and boomers both enjoy the Mandalorian. Younger viewers have likely latched on to Baby Grogu, while boomers might gravitate to its space Western vibes
Okay.
and clear good versus evil storytelling. Good old evil versus good storytelling.
No, that's true. I think that is a generational thing. I think that boomers are more susceptible or receptive to black and white, good and evil, cowboys and cops and robbers, all that kind of stuff.
I think it was our generation as we were, getting older and stuff is where we started seeing a lot of that gray area stuff, the anti-hero and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It was
that's
really
true.
starting to become, the thing. Because I mean, if you think back, even in the late 60s, you got Clint Eastwood, but he was breaking the mold. Like Clint Eastwood movies were not like any other Westerns before. That gray area guy, that anti-hero, that just wasn't really that much of a thing, especially not in the blockbuster ones.
No,
And you might
no,
have a
no.
few instances, but
Sure.
Anyway.
No, it's true. It's true.
anyway, so let's see.
So did the other series show up here at all? Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Boba Fett.
No, they're just talking about the top ones because they were just trying to point
Okay.
out the divide, and they were picking the big ones. So,
Okay.
like, here's a good one. Andor's continuing popularity among viewers aged 30 to 61 seems different. That's like two groups, two generations.
At least.
And
yeah.
what they're saying is, or the thought on this article was, or I guess Nielsen, was that the original trilogy and the prequels were watched by both of them, which is why they probably like Andor so much, because it sort of ties the two stories together rather well.
It does. It does really well. And it's such a departure for a Star Wars film. I'm just gonna call them all films because they're
Okay,
all
that's fine.
basically shot the same way. Andor doesn't do the space western. It doesn't do the pulp kind of let's all go to the movies in 1948 kind of thing that the others
Right.
do. It really, I think it challenges the viewer a bit.
Hmm.
And if it's the millennials and the Gen X groups who are the most interested in that, I'm going to be biased here and say that maybe those generations are able to handle a little bit more sophistication.
Could be,
Because
and it could.
the Gen Z is still getting there, right? And
Yeah, they're still getting there.
Gen Alpha is still getting there. Gen Z, I don't know what they're doing. And the Boomers, they can't remember where they put their teeth. So, you need an easy show.
Well, also Andor very very much breaks that good versus evil.
Yeah.
There's just definitely is not the thing.
And it doesn't really ever fall down the hole of here's the cute thing that we have to show you.
Yeah, that was the best thing of it.
I mean, yeah, the little robot is kind of cutesy, the one that lives in his house with his
Yeah,
mother.
but it's not enough to be a
No, and honestly, every time that robot came on the screen, it just made me cringe. I was like, "Stop!"
right.
You don't have to do this. He doesn't have to be cute. I don't. No, I don't need that. And that's the closest they got to cutesy. So good for them.
Yeah, yeah,
And the Mandalorian's cuteness. I mean, Grogu's fine. He can
yeah.
be cute.
Grogu's fine.
He can be cute.
So, it says here that the Mandalorian was an adult Star Wars universe where character-driven drama was more important than CGI. So they did still have
Yep.
CGI, but they focused more on the story and the
There are a lot of
CGI
practical
wasn't.
effects in it too.
Yeah, it had a lot of practical effects. I mean, they did do the deep fake with Luke, but that was cool,
But it was fine.
and it was short. It was.
It was short. That's the main thing. It was short because it was poorly done. They did a bad job with it, but at
Eh.
least they didn't do it for too long.
Right. But I did love seeing Luke come in there and kicking ass, and you're just like, oh, we get to see Luke really kick ass. Like,
Yeah,
this is why Jedis are terrifying.
I'd love to see him try again. With the I don't know. Maybe they do something in the movie I haven't seen, but technology's gotten better.
Yes, it has.
Well, actually, technology was fine at the time because whoever did it didn't do a good job.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, that's it. That's that's pretty much the story.
Well, that's I think that's really interesting to know
Yeah.
kind of where these are falling, and we'll have to see as more things come out, what this plays out like. It's pretty amazing if they can even have somebody who's Gen Alpha. If there's a 10-year-old who's excited about Star Wars in the year 2026, because that's 50 years after the first one, right?
Yeah, something.
Are
Like
we?
that.
Are we?
1977?
So next year will be the 50th
Next year, yeah.
anniversary. So I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
if you watch the original Star Wars, if you give it to a 10-year-old, they're not going to sit there and go, "Oh, this is an old 50-year-old movie and it looks dumb." No, it looks
No.
good.
still looks good.
You couldn't do
In fact-
that when Star Wars came out. If you tried to watch a 50-year-old movie, it would be a silent film where it was sped up fast and everybody was running around like dolls.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we fit the stereotype somewhat. My daughter and I, along with Mike and a couple other people, are going to go see Mandalorian and Grogu the night it comes out. So
Absolutely. I won't go the night it comes out, but I'm definitely going to see it in the theaters.
yeah. So kind of excited for it. I like the show.
It should be great. It should be great.
All
And
right.
hey, putting Grogu's name in the title means that maybe some people will start calling him that instead of Baby Yoda.
yeah.
Not me. I'll call him Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Yep. That's true. All right. Next up.
All right, this is pretty neat. There is a company called Goblin Hobbies, and they have come out with these little things called stamping plates. So we have a picture on the screen right now. You'll see somebody's ugly fingernail and their Warhammer mini. It's not an ugly fingernail. It's just got paint all over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever did this is not somebody who is particularly used to painting their own nails, I would say. But the reason that the picture of the painted nails is next to the Warhammer thing is because the two have something in common. What they have in common is the technology being used to put intricate little designs on them. So up until today, if you wanted to put an intricate design on your mini, like the symbol of their legion or something like that, it's a complex thing. You would either have to have the painting skills of a god, which is, some people can do it, but or maybe you could use like a transfer, like a little sticker or something, and
Yeah.
stickers come off.
they do make those little stickers for the miniatures, and you could stick it to your nail.
Yeah, yeah, and they come off. Apparently, what nail techs have been doing for years that I didn't know about is in order to get some really cool designs on people's fingernails, they have a process of transferring actual paint to the fingernail. And these guys at Goblin Hobbies, somebody looked at that and said, that's really cool. Why don't we do that too? So they figured out how to make it work. And they came out with this thing they call the miniature stamping plate. It's a little metal plate about the size of a smartphone, and it's got a ton of different, in their case, Warhammer specific symbols and stuff on it.
Right.
And what you do is you get the plate, you peel off the little plastic covering that keeps it safe in shipping, and you use I'm a little confused about exactly how this works, but essentially you apply some paint to the plate, and then you scrape it off so that the pigment just stays in the grooves. And then you take their stamper, this little silicone stamper, and you push it onto the plate. It picks up the ink, or the paint, I should say, that is in the grooves. And then you transfer it to the miniature and you just press it, and it presses it down basically as a stamp, like if you're stamping ink. But it just gets it right every time. It works most importantly on curved surfaces where like a water slide decal would just wrinkle up or just look bad. I mean, you've done this before, right? Try to put those little decals on something and it just wrinkles up and you're just like, ah,
Right. Yep.
get my toothpicks out and you're trying to mess with it. The next thing you know, you've torn it and it just looks terrible. And the decals just look like junk, right? And so Brian's saying here in the chat that you can make your own decals. That's true, right? You can do all of that, make decals, and then you have all the problems of how to apply them, do they stay on, and everything else. So with this, you're actually stamping paint directly on there. It still takes some work. You got to get your timing right. You've got to mix everything well. It's not magic, right? But miniature painters don't want magic. I mean, they want the skill. You want to develop your skills. Sure. So it's very cool. It's a 3-component system, just like with nails. You got the plate, the scraper, and the stamper. The workflow apparently is exactly the same as what a nail tech would do. And the physics is similar. There's some differences they had to deal with. So, for example, fingernail is different from a miniature. It's different. It's different texture, different amount of porosity. Is that a word?
Porosity? I like it.
What's the word I'm really looking for? Porousness, absorption. That.
Now that you say it, I can't think of it.
I can't think of it at all. But yeah, so it's just a really neat application of one technology to another. Love to see it. Hopefully they'll come out with more things, or even come out with a way for you to design your own. Maybe you could 3D print your own.
Ooh.
I don't know. And Simon Harding says, it looks like it would be a good idea to have a girlfriend who can do your figures.
Yeah.
So
right.
if you have a significant other, whatever your gender is and whatever their gender is, if you have a significant other who is the nail art type, right? They would probably have an advantage to come and help you out because they've been doing this for a while.
Right.
I don't know anybody in my personal life who puts art on their nails, but I often am out in public and, you run into somebody at a store or something who's working there, and they'll have, and I always notice it. I always say something about it because I'm like, oh, wow, your nails are cool. So ask them, I guess.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Neat. All right.
All right, let's move on to the PG rated words.
All right. Bad mother cluckers. All right. This is a disclaimer. I'm helping work on this some. I'm doing the layout for him.
Great.
We were at TotalCon, and a handful of us were hanging out, and this idea.
Where were we?
I don't think you were there.
No,
you
no,
weren't.
no,
You
no.
weren't
I wasn't
part
there.
of the
I would remember.
Yeah. So this idea came up about lucha chickens, and then which was funny.
Yeah.
We're all
Luca
loving it.
Pollo.
And we were like, we should do that as sort of like our own little personal theme for TotalCon next year. So
Yeah.
we kind of joked around about that, and then Ian's like, I'm gonna make a game for this, and I said, And I just, because we were drinking and hanging out, I'm like, all right, I'm in, count me in. Right. So,
Mhm.
so 3 days later, I get an email from him with the first draft of this game in it.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah. So, I was asking, well, what do you want me to do? And he's like, I don't know. I've almost written the whole thing. I
Ian,
was like,
Ian McGarty?
yeah, Ian McGarty.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And I said, I was like, well, how can I help if you've written the whole damn thing? He's like, I don't know, man. What do you want to do? I was like, you know what? I know InDesign everything. I'm not the best layout artist in the world, but I can lay out. And
Mhm.
he's like, all right, cool. So I laid it out. Now I'm gonna have to do some tweaking because layout nightmare, right?
Yeah.
It's not completely finished. I thought it was. So I'm like,
Yeah, the last 10% is 90% of the work.
yeah. Anyway, it's fine. It'll be fine. It's not a thick book. Anyway, so what is Bad Mother Cluckers? So
What is it?
it's a game that allows players to create a luchador chicken
Nice.
and battle their friends or enemies for dominance on the Polo Lucha circuit. And I love that he has this. This is the first game in the Bad Mother Cluckers line, which I guess there's going to be more. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's really cool. It's a skirmish game. So you do
Mhm.
make up your little lucha chicken. You give them stats and everything. Pick different, things that you can do. Like you have wing, breast, thigh, claw, and peck.
Okay,
And then you can
okay.
do buffet attacks. And so you learn
Buffet
jamming.
attacks. What's
Yeah,
that?
a buffet is to pound at something.
Oh,
Like
okay.
If you were
Okay.
like just pushing on somebody's
Like,
chest
yeah,
like
it's
that.
buffeting. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Got it.
So there are 3 arenas. There's the kitchen, the barnyard, and I'm trying to remember because I didn't write it down. Chicken barnyard and
Backseat
I
of
don't
the
know
truck.
another one. I think there's and I think the basement is on one of the stretch goals.
Mhm.
And these are going to be so this is really cool. So this is what Ian wanted to do. It's going to be an 8.5 by 11 book, which I was like, why are we doing 8.5 by 11? This is easily a 6 by 9 type of book because it's only like 20 some pages.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I want them to be able to pull the maps out of the center. So
Oh,
the
cool.
center 3 pages are 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 17 folded in half.
Yeah.
What you'll do is you'll open up the staples, pull the 3 pages out, close the staples back up. You still got the book and you've got 3 maps.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it's pretty cool. That took a little bit to figure out how to design that so it would print out properly. Anyway, when I checked this afternoon, they were at $774, pledged of a $666 goal. And that's all
Okay.
you really need. It's a small book. The print's
Yeah.
not going to cost much.
Yeah. So it's pro wrestling for cockfighting.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I love
So
it.
it's a lot of fun. And it's all, dude, it's all like stock art and everything.
Oh yeah,
I did,
yeah. No,
I
it's
did some
great.
of the art. I did some of the modifications of the art. Like for the wing, I just cut the wing off of one of the pieces of stock art because it was
Yeah.
an EPS file. So I pulled an Illustrator and cut it off and cleaned it up, and then just put that on the sheet. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So this is Edición Pollo Luca. The
Yes.
Bad Mother Cluckers. I love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yep. Hey, it's still running. So if you want to like get in on it, this is a good time. It's
a
going
good
to be
time.
fun. Anyway.
All right. And let's get to our last story of the week. You've waited 14 years. You have waited.
have been
You
waiting.
have waited 14 years for a new Elric of Melniboné tabletop RPG, and 2 get announced in the same week.
I like
All right.
this.
Have you read these books?
I have read them. yes.
Okay. Not all 30, I'm assuming.
No.
No.
Oh Christ! I didn't know how many there were. No, I've read 3 of them. I read the first 3.
Yeah, they're all great. I have not read all 30. I've probably read a half a dozen or so. But
Hey, just real quick while we're
yeah.
talking about that, when we were looking for names for my daughter,
yes.
I put forth, but it got shot down shockingly. I put Cimarron as a
Cimarron.
contestant.
All
you know.
right. I thought you were going to say Stormbringer.
No, no, I think Cimarron's a pretty name, but my wife was like, "That's too weird." I was like, "Okay, that's
Well,
fine."
I think if
get
you
it.
named a daughter Stormbringer, that could have interesting effects on their life too.
Yeah, probably.
It'd be really good for getting in fights and stuff.
Right.
Just in the young ones, when Vivian was having a baby, and they're like, "What are you going to name your baby?" He's like, "Shut up and piss off." Like, what? And he's like, no, no, those are the names. I'm either going to name him Shut Up or Piss Off. He's like, they'll be really useful in life for getting into fights.
Right, right.
All right, so Elric of Melniboné. It's hard to say it. I never pronounce it properly when I'm in my head when I'm reading it. I just think Melnibone, right? But it is Melniboné. Don't know why.
I've heard people say Melnibone, but I don't think I
That
don't know
could
if
be
that's
right too. All I know is there's a little accent aigu at the end for the E, so it's Bonnet, like Janelle Monet. But Elric of Melniboné has existed since 1961, actually. The first novel came out in 1972, but Michael Moorcock was putting Elric in short stories and novellas and things like that beforehand.
Right.
And his full name is Elric. I had to look this up. I had forgotten. Elric the Eighth, 428th Emperor of Melniboné.
All right.
So that's an ancient. You ever notice in the fantasy and some of the sci-fi worlds, especially in stuff that was written in the 50s or 60s, they love to have these empires or societies that have lasted for 10,000 years.
Yeah, right. Yep.
There's never been a society on Earth. What's the longest lasting society or empire in the history of humankind?
I don't know. I know Rome seems to get the credit for it, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, we think about it the most.
Yeah.
They said that the average American man thinks of the Roman Empire 3 times a day.
That's a bit much. I do.
I
think
just
of it
made that up.
Well, I know my wife pulled that on me. She's like, I bet you're one of them. And I was like, well, not that much, but not too far from it.
I bet if you just sort of rang a little bell every time you caught yourself thinking about the Roman Empire, you'd be surprised how often you think about them.
Probably. But I mean, they were such an impact on society.
Yeah.
Just
So,
such an impact.
but what were they at the most? 400
1,000?
years. No, not 1,000.
Oh no,
not
it was
in
longer.
any
Well, I
sense.
know it was longer than had to be longer than 400 because they go back before zero, and
That was a crazy year when it all rolled over like that.
and in 400 is when the Roman emperor instituted Christianity.
Okay, so 600 years, let's say.
Yeah, it could be about
600
right.
years.
Again,
and
I
then
don't
you
know.
have Chinese empires. Let's just give China the credit for all the Chinese empires going back to the first
probably.
one. And at the most, you could get 2,000 or 3,000 years out of it. I mean, I think if you really tried hard, you could find a 2,000 or 3,000 year old way to say there's a human empire. Not 10,000 years. 10,000 and of course, in those 10,000 year histories in the science fiction and fantasy books, they always know the whole history is like it happened yesterday. So here he is, 420th.
We haven't even had society for 10,000 years. We had,
I don't know.
I mean, agriculture started about 8,000 years ago, and that's when we really started having. And I'm not counting
Yeah.
like tribal people as society. When I say society, I mean like cities
Civilization
and shit like that.
Yeah. Literally civilization as in civitas.
Yes. Yes. And that's not even 10,000 years, I don't think.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe in the future we'll have a 10,000 year empire, and we'll have a 428th empire of something. But for those people who have not read the books, I mean, Elric is one of the most iconic characters in all of fantasy.
Oh yeah.
And a big reason for that is because Elric is one of the most iconoclastic ones.
Yeah.
I think Elric really breaks the mold. And whenever people are fan casting for like who would play Elric, Tilda Swinton is always
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
one of the first people that comes up because Elric seems sort of androgynous in the
Oh,
books.
very, very much so. Yeah.
And Elric is physically very weak. Oh,
Yes.
I'm going back to the empires here. Scott Congable says there was an Egyptian empire for about 3,000 years. So
Okay.
yeah. So let's say 3,000 is the outer limits for like China and Egypt.
You know this you look at this picture of him, and it's a classic picture. It looks like Tilda Swinton.
Yes, it does. It does. David Bowie would have been great for playing.
David
Elric.
Bowie would have been the best.
I've seen people fan cast Johnny Winters back when he was alive. But again, that's going into the fact that Elric is portrayed as very weak and anemic, and I guess they sometimes push that into albino. Albinism. I can't say it.
Albinoism. I think it's
Albinism.
albinoism.
Well, anyway, I don't think Elric is portrayed as albino in the books, but he's anemic, and he uses these drugs, these herbs, to maintain his vitality. And as a youth, he's a very avid reader of the great library, and becomes a sorcerer and a summoner. And then as he matures, he discovers the sword Stormbringer. And this Stormbringer gives him back his vitality. He doesn't need the herbs and drugs anymore. But
But
what does Stormbringer need?
souls.
Souls, yes. I was actually thinking about this. I think I would have to ask Michael Moorcock. And by the way, he's on Facebook. He's pretty active.
He's
so
still alive.
he's doing great. I mean, he's old, but being alive is doing great.
Yeah.
Some would say. And I would like to know if he was inspired by King Alfred the Great. Sort of not exactly the first king of England, but the first king of what would become England. And Alfred the Great was the great because of all the great military things he accomplished, but he also was sick his whole life. He was weak.
Right.
He was frail. There's the story when he was exiled of Alfred burning the cakes, where the woman beats him over the head with a broom because he burned the cakes that he left. I wonder if Elric is sort of modeled a little bit on that.
Could be. I mean,
Yeah,
he looks like he's carrying a black razor there, right?
a black razor.
No. It's from God damn it, the one after Barrier Peaks, White Plume Mountain. Remember the black sword, black razor, which was modeled after Stormbringer.
Yes. You got a deep cut there. I had to think about that one. But anyways, back to the story. So there's 2 RPGs coming out, and these are both officially licensed RPGs. There's no shenanigans going on here, and neither one of them knew about the other. It just
Wow.
just convergent evolution, pure coincidence. So the first one, one of them is from Goodman Games, and it is called The Classic Era of Elric.
Oh.
Kind of a weird name for a game, but okay. And then the other one is from Free League Publishing, who we love, and it is called Legends of Stormbringer. So they both have a lot to recommend them. The Classic Era of Elric. It's going to have source books, adventure maps, supplements. It's all going to be designed for compatibility with both 5th edition D&D and Dungeon Crawl Classics. So I don't know exactly what that means. Does it mean they're going to put information for both games in the books?
That's
Are they
usually
gonna have-
a lot of I've seen multi-system game books, they do that. Wherever there's stats, they just include both.
Okay. I don't know why that always kind of bugs me when things are too genericized. I feel like I want to see
You
the
want to
game
buy
on-
in.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be
I hear
fine. I don't really know much about the quality of Goodman Games games, to be honest. I don't own any of them.
They look good.
I disagree.
Really?
I don't like the look of them. That's one of the reasons. You know me, I'm very aesthetic, and if I don't like the aesthetics of something, it's hard for me to pick it up and play it.
Right.
And Dungeon Crawl Classics has just I've never liked the look of it.
Oh, all right.
It's purely subjective. I know a lot of people love it. Just to me, I look at it and I'm kind of like, it's just something's not catching for me. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's not for everybody.
Yeah. So I don't really know how good their games are. They must be good. People love them, right?
Sure.
But then the Legend of Stormbringer, that one, this is very, very interesting to me, and it might actually get me to check out the system that it's running on. So it is running on a completely different system. It's running on Free League's own proprietary fantasy game system called Dragonbane.
And we know Free League makes good stuff.
We really do. And I have never played Dragonbane, but just reading up about it, it actually sounds pretty cool. So it's a D20 based system, but the innovation they came up with, which I don't know why not everybody does this. This should have been the rule from day one. It makes perfect sense. It's a roll under system. So a 1 is the best success you can get. A 20 is the worst failure. But here's why. Because your stats are 1 through 20, or maybe they're 1 through 18. I actually don't know. But whatever they are, whether it's 1 through 8, whether it's 3 through 18 or 1 through 20, the point is if you want to find out if you succeed, you roll the d20 and you roll under your stat.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, how simple is that? There's no modifiers, there's no math, there's no nothing. You're just like, I have a 14 strength, I need a 14 to succeed.
And it's a perfectly linear system.
Yeah.
Whereas the three, like Dungeons and Dragons, really isn't. It kind of like nothing really matters until you get to like 12 or somewhere in there, and then it ramps up real fast, right?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is, growing up with Dungeons and Dragons, it's the way it always was. It's the way things are. That's how stuff works. It makes perfect sense. But if you had never played an RPG before, and somebody handed you two systems, D&D and what we're hearing about Dragonbane, I feel like the Dragonbane one would be the one that would make more sense. So I like that. It's also a skill-based rather than a level-based system. So that's like Top Secret.
I like that.
So I mean that's very appealing to me. I think because I love these books so much, and because Free League is such a good company, they've got such a great reputation for making stuff that we love.
Yeah.
And the system sounds pretty easy to learn. I think I want to try that. I think this might be why I pick up Dragonbane.
I think I would too.
So,
But I have a question for you, because you understand, like, you know, trademark, copyright, that kind of stuff,
Sure.
and rights and stuff a little more than I do. It's interesting that there are two different companies releasing a role-playing game based on Elric.
yeah.
It would seem that most companies wouldn't allow for that because you're competing against yourself in some way. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's
Well,
not
it doesn't.
the
It does not
licensee,
matter. It
it's not
does
the
not
licensee.
matter to the licensor,
Right, that's
So
true.
the person, whether I don't know who holds the license for, or who holds the trademark for Elric, I would assume it's Michael Moorcock, but you never know. In the world of publishing, he could have sold it to the publisher, whoever it is that holds it. They would, well,
No, they would be fine with it, I think. I think it's the two licensees. Like, wouldn't one licensee be like, well, I'm not going to license this if you're licensing it to someone else? I mean, like, let's take Solarian, for example. If, you know, somebody came to us and said, hey, would you like to make the next Star Wars game? And we're like, well, yeah, of course. How could we say no, right?
Mhm.
And then they're like, oh, and by the way, you know, Goodman Games is going to be making a Star Wars game too. I'd be like, no, I'm out. I'm not
But
doing
you
that.
gotta think about that though. Would we be out? Because if Goodman Games came and said, or sorry, if Disney came and said, Goodman Games has the right to Andor, do you want to do The Mandalorian? You know, I mean, or it basically it's this. They're like, look, they're getting it anyway. So do you want it or not want it? You'd be like, well, you know what? That's really good property. We want it.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I could put a lot of work into something, but you know, I only have half the customer potential,
true.
half
That's
the
true.
customer base. So that
And
kind of
Elric is not Star Wars.
right.
You know, it's huge to you and me, and probably to the
Oh,
people that
yeah.
are watching right now, because we're a bunch of nerds, as opposed to Star Wars fans who are not nerds, not automatically. And although a nerd can watch Star Wars,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you're into Elric, yeah, you're kind of a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on.
you're kind of a nerd.
I'm gonna fight anyone who says otherwise.
Yeah.
They're wrong.
Yeah. Apparently the two companies didn't know about each other doing these things, and who the licensors weren't going to say like, "You sure you want to pay us money? Because somebody else is paying us money. I don't want you giving us money." No, they took the money, and I don't think. Well, I was going to say I don't think anybody's going to buy one instead of the other. From a competition perspective, but you know, I'm kind of thinking about it because I'm looking at both of these, and I'm thinking I like Elric, I like Melnin Bonnet, the whole world. I would like to play in that world. I've got the Deities and Demigods edition that still had that in there before it got cut out. I like that stuff.
Oh, I want that one. I want to get that one.
Oh yeah, I've got a few of them. I'm just kidding. No, I've got one. But if I saw just the Goodman Games one, they said we're going to do a game called The Classic Era of Elric. Would I buy that? Maybe. You know, the whole two different. Yeah, I might buy it if I thought it looked really good. Legends of Stormbringer, because I'm excited about the system they're talking about, and because I know Free League games. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that instead of the other one, just
Mhm.
because I know their stuff better. So maybe there's competition going on.
I'll tell you, if I worked at one of these companies, I would definitely contact the other company and say, "Hey, let's make a deal."
Yeah, that's what you should do.
I'd be like, "We'll put something really cool in that you don't, and you put something really cool in that we don't, and then that way, like maybe you'll do more stuff on the land, and maybe you'll do more stuff with the monsters, and then it'll be like, oh, you should buy both of them because you can use both of them."
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd get together and say, let's make some adaptation materials for each other.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, here's how you can use your materials with our version and vice versa.
yeah. Let's make an agreement that we can put it up on our website how to convert from your system to ours, and then you do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. So from a trademark law kind of perspective, there's no issues because they're calling their games completely different things.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're based in a world that somebody else owns, and they both have a license to do it. So the trademark comes up for the name of the game. They're different names, no problem.
Been there,
The
yeah.
copyright comes up for the setting that it's a derivative work of, and they both have a license to do that. Somebody else owns the copyright. So again,
Right,
no problem at all.
right. Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds great. I think from what I've been reading, it sounds like Legends of Stormbringer will come out a little sooner because they're saying that it's going to be released in 2027 and crowdfunding soon. So I would guess maybe later this year. Whereas Goodman Games doesn't plan to even do the Kickstarter until 2027.
Ah, okay.
So maybe get them both.
Hmm. Who would you want to be? Would you want to be the person who gets theirs out first, or the one who gets to see what everybody else did and then put yours out?
Whew, I think in this case I'd want to be first
Yeah.
because not everybody pays attention to everything. And
Right.
so if there's an Elric fan out there who doesn't know they're both happening, they might just buy the first one they see.
Right. That's true.
So I think I'd want to be first
Okay.
because they're both companies that have a long history of putting out popular, good stuff. They know what they're doing. There's nothing to make me feel like hurrying would make a bad game for them.
Yeah.
So hurry up, guys. Bring them out next week.
I don't know if I don't think I ever told you. We played the original Stormbringer back in the day, and it was a fun game, but it was really brutal. I mean, you could die easily, and magic was weird because you like would make deals with with chaos and law
Yeah.
entities, and
Yeah.
you would like put like a chaos thing into your sword, and then your sword would be do a lot of damage or something. It was interesting, but it wasn't like a D&D magician or magic
You know
user.
what? Correct me if I'm wrong, and please, somebody in the chat, correct me here. But isn't Michael Moorcock's Worlds, his novels, where Dungeons and Dragons got its alignment system from?
It might
The
be.
initial
You got
one.
you got the chaos and law.
Right. I mean, initially, because in the first D&D, there wasn't the 9 point or whatever, chaotic good, lawful evil, blah, blah, blah. It was just chaos, neutral, and law. And chaos was considered evil and law was considered good. And later it got more nuanced.
Nuanced.
But I believe that I believe that the alignment system came from Michael Moorcock's books, and I think that's the reason that I first read Elric.
Mm.
So nobody's correcting me in the chat, so maybe I'm right, or maybe they don't care. Um, so
Hey, Brian was adding on. He says you can die pretty easily in Top Secret. Yes, yes,
were we
yes.
just talking about dying?
I was saying in Stormbringer, it was easy.
Oh, in that one.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. All right. So cool new games to look forward to. Really neat stuff. Before we sign off, I want to remind everybody who's able to get to Northampton at the end of this month to come out to ModCon. So we're seeing a lot of games get added. It's picking up a lot of motion going on there. We're gonna have a good time. So May 30th, if you go to modcon.games, you can sign up for a game. If you sign up to run games, sign up before you buy your badge, and then we'll send you the discount code so you can get a cheaper badge for running games, or even a free one if you run 3 games. And that's really all I have to say. It's going to be a blast. We're looking forward to it. Thank you to all the people that are helping with it and helping us get the word out about it.
Yep.
And we hope that we'll see you there playing some modern era role-playing games.
Yeah, not Elric.
Unfortunately, no. Unless you give Elric a pistol and a race car.
Right.
Never know.
All right.
All right. So Patreon subscribers, you can join us in the Discord after this. We will be there in just a few minutes. So, yeah, we'll see you there.
All right.
Have it.